when time shatters memory echoes, and a murder never happens in the present. This is Karatia, the endless labyrinth of libraries. Shelves stretch to the skies. Books turn their pages on their own. Some pages are blank, and some whisper. The ceiling is made of glass. Every step echoes. With each breath, it's not dust, but memories you inhale. But today, something is missing. The atlas of reality is gone. And without it, no one knows what's real and what's imagined anymore. Hanging at the center of the dome is a single sentence. Lyra was the first to notice. She walked briskly toward an empty shelf, pointed to the void with her hand, and whispered,
I wasn't allowed to enter the room of lost pages, but the voices were calling me. We didn't hear anything, but she says she did. Then came Azarn, with glowing symbols burning on his cloak. His eyes were dazzling, but his words were even stranger.
The atlas of reality was never written to begin with.
There was Nim, sitting silently at a table. She never spoke, but she wrote. Her ink seemed to be made of gold, and her pen plucked from a feathered bird of prophecy, and the text began like this. Time was inconsistent. This text had been written before the event, and Mirak came walking from the darkest gallery of the library. His eyes were sleepless, but his voice sounded like a dream.
I saw the atlas, but it didn't recognize me.
Their eyes had met. But whether one was looking from the past or from a parallel reality, we don't know. The place where the atlas disappeared wasn't just a shelf. It was a memory, a choice, maybe the loss of something that never existed. But then, a book falls quietly to the floor. When its dusty cover opens, a single sentence reads. But what if someone did read it? And now everyone is lost in a reality of their own making. Who remembers the truth? Who forgot it? Who lied? And who wrote the truth? Who do you think is guilty? Did you catch all the details? Write your answer in the comments. The next riddle begins in 10 seconds. Silence when it shattered for the third time. The city of glass, Weimar, screamed. A fragment broke off from the highest point of the crystal dome. It trembled like echoes as it floated through the air, and then it shattered. In that moment, in this glass city, hidden beneath the sky, a memory chamber was found empty. And from within a sphere that erased everything was missing. Between the domes, figures moved in silence, filled with questions and contradictions. The first was Lyra, her eyes the only part visible beneath a long cloak, the guardian of the crystal library.
I was forbidden from entering the room of lost pages, but there were footprints inside. More than just mine.
Yet the floor of that room left no trace. Only those who had fractured time could leave a mark. And then came Tesson, the glass architect, the man who shaped every building with thought alone. His eyes gazed like fractured crystal.
I never saw the sphere, but its sound, yes, I heard something, like an echo in reverse.
An echo in reverse only happens when events from the past reflect into the present. The future makes no sound. As time bent at the city's center, Ezran arrived, the time turner. The rings on his arm were cracked, and his eyes watched multiple timelines all at once.
To me, the sphere is still there. Perhaps it's you looking at the wrong moment in time.
But the time ring on Ezran's arm was whole in the reflection, yet in reality it was broken. The glass walls trembled that day. The symbols etched upon them began to slowly turn, and one of them morphed into an inverted infinity symbol that meant a dimension had collapsed. But the city still stood. Only one thing was missing. There was no one left who remembered it. The glass still whispers, but to whom? And why? Who do you think is guilty? Did you listen to the details carefully? Drop your answer in the comments. The next riddle begins in 10 seconds. A clock stopped, the sky turned red, and beneath the glass dome, silence fell. The city of time went quiet. In this city, where every building turns like a gear, mechanical hearts beat. It is not the wind, but cogs that spin, and hands that tick through the night. And by morning, one of the crystal-stained glass windows of the archive tower had shattered. When Master Orlox opened his eyes, he remembered nothing.
I last saw the sphere in the golden time room, but we weren't allowed in there, were we? The only sound echoing through the tower was the bell, yet it hadn't rung that morning. Still, everyone claimed they heard it. As footsteps echoed on the sand-carved stairs, the silent guardian Lyra emerged. Her armor was made of ice. With each step, the air seemed to crack.
I was on watch. All night. There was no bell. Only I heard the crystal walls weeping. At that moment, clock-shaped clouds in the sky began to crack. Time itself seemed to be fracturing. From the depths, a whisper rose. The seismic oracle Una traced invisible symbols in the air with her fingers. Tiny hourglasses orbited around her, each pointing to a different moment in time.
When the flow of time breaks, memories turn against themselves. Orlox might be confusing yesterday with tomorrow. But was that all? From the fractured loop outside the tower, a silhouette emerged. The edges of their cloak were worn by time itself. Their name was Nox. Unlike anyone, yet somehow, everywhere.
I was on a different gear that night. But something's odd. Lyra is right hand, isn't she? And yet she wore her watch on her left wrist.
The wind seemed to shift at that very moment. A shadow appeared atop the glass dome, but no one saw it. Still, absolutely everything led back to the heart of time. The crystal sphere, that massive core of energy, had been removed, and time was no longer linear. Ox remembers one night. Una recalls a different morning. Lyra's silence echoes, yet her voice is always incomplete, and what Nox says leads not to a truth, but to a contradiction. Many claim they heard the bell, but it hadn't rung in 100 years. Perhaps it was a memory that rang, and that night when time stopped, someone was silenced. But who? Who do you think is guilty? Did you catch all the details? Drop your answer in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to unravel the next mysteries.